So welcome back, boys and girls. Are you excited for the next presenter? Yes. Okay, one more minute. As soon as everyone's seated, and then we're going to get started. So today with us, we have Mr. David Mew. He's going to tell you about himself. I'm just going to tell you he's awesome. Okay? Let's give him a big, warm welcome. Here you go, David. Right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction. I think you're awesome too. Isn't she awesome, everyone? Yeah. All right, so my name is David. Good morning. Good afternoon, actually. And this is Lola. Lola is my guide dog. Can you all see her? Lola, say hello. No. She didn't have anything to say. Lola is a 5-year-old yellow Labrador, and she is a certified dog guide from a school in Florida, a guide dog school in Florida called Southeastern Guide Dog Association, and it's near Tampa. Do you know where Tampa is? Yeah, you're good with geography? Good. Okay, so Lola was born 5 years ago, and then for the first year of her life, she went to live with a family who taught her basic rules, like where to go to the bathroom outside and how to fetch things and how to behave when other animals are around and other people. And then after 1 year with this family, she went to the school, the Southeastern Guide Dog Association, where she trained for 1 year, for 6 months to a year. And they taught her more specific things, like how to find things, how to find counters and curbs and sidewalks and doors to go in and doors to go out and elevators and escalators. So she has a very strong education, and she does a lot of things for me, and she is very happy most of the time. When we're at home, she doesn't have to work, and I take this harness. If you can see, this is called her harness. I take that off when we're at home, so she can be free to be a regular dog just like any other dog. She runs around and plays and eats her treats, and when we go out, I put the harness and the leash on so that I can work with her. And so something that's very useful in working with a dog guide is that they keep you from getting run over. So you want to be very careful when you're crossing the street not to get hit by a car, and Lola keeps that from happening. And for example, you all know where Lincoln Road is, right? Okay, I live right near Lincoln Road. So if I wanted to go to a restaurant on Lincoln Road, we would go out of my house and make a left, and I would say, Lola, forward. Lola, stand up. There we go. And I would say forward, and we would walk forward. And then when we get to Lincoln Road, I can tell her if we want to go left or right. So we work together. So I tell her the basic direction of where we want to go, and then she is very helpful in avoiding poles and umbrellas and chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff. So normally, when I don't have Lola with me, I use a white cane. This is a white cane, and this is what most people who are blind or visually impaired use. So it opens up. Like that. And how we use it is, when we're walking, we extend it in front of ourselves, and then when we put our left foot forward, we tap the cane to the right. And when we put our right foot forward, we tap the cane to the left. And the way that we get around is we will eventually hit something. Lola, back up. There's a person here. Oh, hi. So that's how I know that there's something in front of me, because I hit it with my stick, with my white cane. And I can tell from the sound of things, when I tap it with my cane, I can hear that that's metal. So I'm guessing that that's my chair. And So it gives me all kinds of cues. But it's much easier walking around with Lola because she avoids everything, so I don't have to walk into it to see what it is. Lola, what are you doing? Are you being friendly?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody want to see what it's like to walk with Lola?
Yes.
All right. Only one person, please. 100 people. No. One. All right, raise your hands. All right, put your hands down.
You with your glasses. There, come on.
All right, we need a teacher.
I don't know his name.
Santiago. Come on down.
Okay, next. On your right.
Okay, where are you? Hi. Shake my hand. Thank you. Nice to meet you. This is Lola. Okay, so how we work with Lola is always on our left side. Lola, back up. So I hold her harness like this, and then I put the leash between these two fingers here, and we go like that. And then when we're ready to go, I say, Lola, forward. Forward. There we go. Stop. Back up. Back up. Back up. So you're going to put your hand right here. Grab that harness there, your left hand. Okay. Which way you're facing? Okay. And hold the leash, right? Okay. Now hold it tight. Don't let go. And say, Lola, forward.
Lola forward.
Is she walking?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Lola, come back. How'd she do? All right. Thank you, Santiago. So that's how Lola and I get around. And Lola is very happy to meet other people, but one big rule about guide dogs and Lola is that when you see a dog that is working, like Lola, you know it because they have the harness on and or a vest. Lola doesn't have a vest, but she has a harness, so that means she's a working dog. So one rule is that you never ever touch or talk to a working dog that's not your dog. Does anybody know why? Exactly, because it can be distracting. And what happens when she gets distracted?
If she gets distracted, the dog will most likely want to get here, and then the dog will go other direction.
Right, the dog could go in another direction. She could, I could fall off a curb or down some stairs, and she's busy playing with somebody because they wanted to be friendly, but that's not very safe for me. So you never ever want to touch a working dog or talk to the dog. And you can, however, ask me or the person who has the dog, you can say, is it okay if I pet your dog? And I can decide whether or not that's okay. But you always ask first before you do it. Does anybody want to pet my dog? All right, maybe later. Does anybody have any questions about Lola or guide dogs?
Speak loud.
It's Lola, speak loudly.
Well, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What does a vest mean exactly? Because you said that a working guide dog can either have a harness or a vest. Do they have a harness and a vest or just a vest?
They could. Well, a vest is just an indication that the dog is a working dog. Some people have vests for them. For me, it's an option. All I need is the harness to indicate that she's a working dog. Sometimes I have a sign that I put on her harness that says, "Please don't pet me, I'm working." But it's not necessary for guide dogs.
One more question.
One more question.
If a service dog does something wrong, do you discipline?
Absolutely. Yes. So how I do that is if a service dog does something wrong, do you discipline them? And the answer is yes. So Lola, stand up. Stand up. Good girl. Okay. So if we're walking down the street and she sees a squirrel and starts to run after it and she's pulling me in a different direction, I have to quickly pull on her leash just to correct her and then steer her back on our path. So sometimes you have to do it quite forcefully just to make sure that she doesn't keep following the squirrel, but for the most part, it's just a quick yank of the leash and then you continue. Okay. All right, so I want to tell everybody a little bit about myself. I live here in Miami Beach, as I said, near Lincoln Road, and I run 2 businesses. I run 2 humanitarian organizations, and one of which produces the South Beach Jazz Festival. Has anybody heard of it?
Yes.
Okay, so it happens every year in January, and it's coming up this January 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we have stages set up on Lincoln Road, at the Colony Theater, on Ocean Drive. We have a movie at the New World Center outside in the Soundscape Park. We have a jazz brunch. And I work all year long to produce this event so people can come and hear live music. Now, because of my organization, its goal is to bring awareness to people about others living with disabilities. At least one person performing in each group at my jazz festival has a disability. And that could be a lot of things. They could be blind, they could be someone who uses a wheelchair, it could be someone who had polio as a child, or many other disabilities that do exist. So at least one person in each group has a disability so that we can bring awareness about what it means to have a disability and how capable people are and how very much they're able to succeed and excel in life despite their disabilities and their challenges. So that's coming up, and I hope that you'll all be around to come to some of the events. Most of them are free. And the other thing that I do is I run another organization, and that is an ADA advocacy organization. Does anybody know what the ADA is? It stands for the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that's something that came about in 1990 to benefit people with disabilities so that our rights are protected and we have the same access to things that everybody else does. For example, when someone who uses a wheelchair needs to access a store or a restaurant, and there are no stairs or ramps available, or there are no ramps for entry, then the ADA says in many situations that a ramp has to be available for that person who uses a wheelchair. And there are many examples of how it benefits me as well, and many people. So my organization is to promote and advocate or talk to people about making things accessible for people with disabilities. So when I say accessible, I mean, in my situation, so that I can read things, or, for example, in a restaurant to read a menu, or if I'm on a website to read the website. Because when I'm on the internet, I cannot see the pictures. I can't see the screen, because I see nothing at all. I'm totally blind. If you close your eyes and you put your hands up to your eyes and you keep them closed, really dark, right? Okay, that's what I see all the time. So if I'm on a website and they don't make the website properly, then I can't read anything. So already I can't see the pictures, but they can write below the picture what the picture is of. If there's a picture of a puppy, they can say image of a puppy, and then that's how I know what it is. And how my software works on my computer is, it's called a screen reader, and it reads everything on the screen to me. And I'm going to do a little demonstration of that for you right now. Allison, you take Lola. Okay, so I have my computer here. Let's see.
Story was well B. An illness D. Time when the live people were constrained by their limitations. Miss Keller went off the
Can you hear that?
powers of intellectual and emotional achievement. She traveled to the farthest reaches 7.
see.
She traveled to T70 farthest reaches of the world and became a leading figure who publicly campaigned no more headings of civil rights, human dignity, women's suffrage, and world peace invented of civil.
All right, well, that's kind of difficult to hear because my computer doesn't get that loud. But what it does, it's reading all the words on the screen to me. And I can adjust the speed, and I can make it louder, and I can make it softer, and I can make the speed faster or slower depending on how I want to listen to it. Now, there are also other ways that I can demonstrate that to you. All Apple products are made with a screen reader in them called Voiceover. Is anybody familiar with Voiceover? Yes. Okay, so I have it on my phone. So, when... Can you hear that? Okay. So wherever I touch it on the screen, it's telling me what I'm touching. And I'm on an app now called Ira. And Ira is a company that makes these glasses that I'm wearing. Can everybody see these glasses? This is a camera right here. So I go into this app, and I call on the phone through this app. And it's calling a live agent. Hello?
Thank you for calling Ira. This is Grace. What would you like to do today?
Hi, Grace. We're doing a demonstration on the Ira glasses today at North Beach Elementary School in Miami Beach. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you see everyone in the room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the speaker just 1 minute. I'm going to... Are you there, Grace? Just a minute. Hi. Can you hear me?
Looks like a nice crowded room.
Yes. Okay. So,
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, David.
okay, so do you want to describe who I'm looking at right now?
Front row, I see a really nice pink sweatshirt. Sitting in the front, notebook open, taking notes. Next to her.
Who's wearing the pink sweatshirt?
What's your name? Olivia.
Olivia, okay. All right, can you describe, Grace, the rest of the room, how it looks?
Yeah, so definitely lots of rows of seating. On the walls we have some murals of, looks like trees, and there's all sorts of art coming out of the trees. The curtains are closed, blue curtains. In the back, the Morris and Anita Board Theater of the Performing Arts with a mural under that. Looks like a kind of cartoon mural. Up above is your standard kind of ceiling tiles. Ceiling looks pretty high. Probably.
Thank you, Grace.
A large ceiling there.
Thank you, Grace. Hold on 1 second.
Waving, some dabbing.
Hold on 1 second, Grace. Does anybody have any questions for Grace? Speak up, please. What's the question?
You said that Grace was a live agent?
She's a live person, that's right. Grace, what state are you in?
Me, I am in Oregon.
What?
She's in Oregon.
It's almost like a one-sided FaceTime.
Grace, would you describe the dashboard that you're looking at and what it tells you?
What was that? Could you repeat the question?
Would you describe the dashboard that you're looking at and what it's telling you?
I'm sorry. One
Your
more time.
your dashboard?
Got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, so on my dashboard, I have a large picture of your video feed, and I can see your profile, any photos you have, 5 feet.
So when I'm walking down the street and I have the glasses on, Grace is very helpful in telling me what stores are coming up on my right or my left. If there's a street coming up, she does a lot of the things that Lola does, but she says it with her voice instead of with her body movement. And she'll tell me, for example, that if we're walking on 41st Street toward the beach, that Roasters and Toasters is on our left. Does everybody know that place? Yeah. All right. I think we're going there for lunch today. So when we get close to it, I can say what's on their menu. And she can look up their menu and tell me what they have for lunch, and I can decide what I want to eat before I even go inside. And she can tell me what businesses are nearby and what's the address that I'm at, and she can call me a Lyft or an Uber. She can do a lot of things to make sure that I'm safe and give me information that I need. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right, Grace, you hang on, okay? Question?
What was that?
Just stand by, Grace.
What's that question?
What is like, what kind of, how do you like, what kind of technology do you do to make these glasses?
What's the technology to make the iron glasses?
Okay, did you ever hear of Google Glasses? Okay, so that was something that Google came up with a long time ago, but is no longer available. And what they did was they adapted those glasses so that they can be used for people who are blind, like myself. And it's connected via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to the app on my phone and connects to a live agent somewhere in the world. And I can call them anytime, 24 hours a day. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? We gotta move. What's our time? So I want to tell everybody a little bit about the other technology that's available for me to make my life better and easier. So, of course, the iPhone is very much a big part of my life. I do lots of stuff on it, and I'm going to tell you what those things are. So I have a calendar, of course, so I can make all my appointments. I have a photography folder so I can take pictures. And did you know that a blind person can take pictures? So when I hold up the phone, when I have the voiceover on, it'll tell me if you're in the center of the picture. So I can take a picture of you. I have an entertainment folder so I can watch movies and listen to podcasts. And the thing about movies now is that they have something called audio description. Do you know what that is? So I'll tell you anyway. The audio description is an audio track that goes along with the audio from the movie. So if you hear a regular movie and the music and the dialogue, the people talking, this is another audio track of somebody describing what's happening in the scene. Has anybody heard that at all? Yes? Well, I'm going to do a little demonstration. Okay, this is a movie called Daddy Daycare. Has anybody heard of that? Can you hear? If you listen carefully, you can hear the description between the dialogue.
Chocolate with frozen cotton candy flavored cereal to kids, man. Candy? That's not bad. Hey guys, look, I'm sorry, but it was a dog. Kids just don't want to eat vegetables for
Nighttime at the
breakfast.
house.
Did you hear that? It said nighttime at the house, so that's not something that you would have heard if you were just watching the movie, but that describes to me what time of day it is, so I know what's happening and what's going on in the movie.
How about you, baby? How was your day?
So that's how audio description works.
Show control.
Because I can't see the movie, I can hear, and they can describe what's happening and what people are wearing and how they're moving in the screen and all that good stuff. Okay, so I want to share a little bit more with you. Anybody know what this is? What does it look like? Walkie-talkie? Yeah. I need a volunteer. I need a volunteer, please. What?
The color thing?
Yeah. One student right here, please.
Coming out.
Come on down. Okay, so this is, I'm going to let you see in a second. Where are you? Where are you?
Amber, go right next to you.
Amber, come here. Hi. Hi. Okay, you want to stand here? Oop, there you are.
I'm here.
Okay. We're going to see what color your shirt is.
Light blue, green. Light blue, green.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Light blue.
Okay. So this is a color identifier. Thank you, Amber.
Oh, she got a few colors on her.
And it's not 100% accurate, but
Black. Black.
it's pretty close.
Black.
So this is black, I'm guessing. Yep. So that's a very good tool that I use when I'm getting dressed in the morning. Now, does anybody know about how blind people who are blind, how they read? Braille? Did anybody say Braille? Okay, that's how they read with Braille. Okay, and Braille is a group of dots that stick up, basically. And we're going to teach you a little bit about how to read Braille. I need 2 really tall kids, 2 medium-sized kids, and 2 shorter kids.
What do you want the shorter kids?
I need them all right here.
What?
All right here.
Okay, never mind. Okay,
Or should we do it over there?
I don't know.
Well, we need them to stand in front of each other. So back, oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Stand in front. Stand in front of her. You stand
The tall
in front
kids
of
in the
her.
back.
Okay. The tall kids are in the back. All right, they're right here.
Okay, and the 2 medium kids in front of them.
Yeah, there's 2 little kids.
Have a seat.
All right, everybody,
Thank you.
just give us just a minute. We'll be with you in just a minute. Stand by. Do we have all 6?
Oh, you wanted 6?
We need 6.
All right. Any little people? Little.
Quickly, quietly, quietly.
I need somebody smaller. Back up, kids. Back up.
Back up.
Over here. All right, stop. Okay.
Okay, do we have 6?
Yeah.
2 short ones down on the bottom?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so we need the 6 beach balls, okay? Okay, so the one on the left
Yeah.
at the top is number 1.
Okay, I got number 4 in my hand. Behind number 1?
No, number 4's up here.
No, you got 6 in a row. You got 3 and 3.
No, I need the 2 tall kids at the top, the 2 medium kids in
That's
front of them,
exactly how it is.
and the 2 down on the bottom.
Where does the number? All right.
Where's number 1? Where's the? Oh, I'm sorry.
Fine.
You're the medium kid. Where's the? There we go. Allison, where's the number 1?
Right here. Right there.
Oh, hi.
But I'm trying to
No,
find
the-
the number. Here's the number. Number 2 is where?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
So you're each getting a ball with a number on it. So you want to make sure the number is facing forward so everybody can see.
There you go.
Okay.
No. You're 3.
Okay, so, I'm sorry. What number are you?
I'm
5. And you are?
4.
4. Okay, so you want to hold your ball up so everybody can see it. And your number?
6.
Number 6. And over there? Number 1. And below that? And below that? Number 3? Do I hear number 3? Okay. Can everybody see the balls with the numbers? Yes. Okay, that is a Braille cell. And a Braille cell is what the Braille alphabet consists of. There are dots within those 6 dots that determine what letter it is that you're going to read. For example, the number 1. Does anybody know what the number 1 represents? The letter A, very good. So, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Put your dots behind your backs. And number 1, you keep your dot up, please. Are we good? Okay, so number 1, that's the letter A. Okay, number 2, put your ball in front, please. That's the letter B. Okay, keep your balls up. 1 and 2. Okay, number 4, would you put your ball in front of your face? Okay, does anybody know what that letter is? C. Nope. 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 F. It's the letter F, as in Frank. Okay, somebody give me a letter. C. C? Okay, number 1 and number 4, put your balls up. That's the letter C. M. Okay, number 1, number 3, number 4. Everybody else put your dots behind your back. That's the letter M. Z. Okay, the letter Z. Number 1, number 3, number 5, and number 6. That's the letter Z. All right. All right, Alice. What are they saying?
5 minutes.
No, what are the kids saying?
They want all different letters.
Oh, okay. All right, so obviously these dots are very big, right? When you touch it on a piece of paper, it's very, very, very tiny. And it's really hard to understand what it is. So it takes a long time to learn Braille. Very easy to memorize the letters, right? You know, 1 dot is the letter A. And if you look at it, you could probably figure it out pretty quickly. But it takes a little bit of time to feel it with your finger. So I want to thank all of you for your assistance. You can throw the balls at Allison.
Thank you.
You throw them at me.
So there are a couple more things I want to share with you before we go.
All right, 5 more minutes.
And does anybody here take medicine when they're sick? All right, well, I do too. The only problem is I can't read the bottle. You know why? Because it's flat. So they came up with a device here, and it's called Script Talk Station. And what I do is I put the bottle on the device and I press play.
Patient. David Mill. Medication. Vitamin D2 1.25 milligrams. 50,000 units. Instructions. Take 1 capsule by mouth once a week. Quantity 4. Prescription date. August 5th, 2009.
So that's telling me everything that's on the label. So I know what it is. It's vitamin D. I know that I have to take it once a week. So I won't confuse it with any other medications, which could be really dangerous, right? So that's a very useful device that I have. And what am I missing?
What are you looking for?
I don't know what's left.
The face masks and,
Yeah.
and the little, this guy.
Oh, okay. One last thing. This is a model. It's a 3D model made from a 3D printer. Does anybody know what it's a model of? Did someone say Lincoln Road? How did you know that? It says Lincoln Road on there? Well, this is a model that I helped. You know, Florida International University has a School of Architecture department here on Lincoln Road. And so I connected with them, and they have a lab with like 50 3D printers. And I told them that I wanted some way to determine what the streets and the buildings look like in my neighborhood. So they went to Google Earth, and they took a picture. And so all of these little squares here are all the buildings in my neighborhood, and all the lines in between are the streets, and there's Braille on the streets, so I know what street it is. This is Michigan, this is Lenox, and so I can get an idea of what things look like, because of course I can't see when I'm walking around, so it gives me a better idea. And I'm working with them to create other projects too, so it's a really great new technology that we're using that's helping a lot of people. All right, that's my presentation. Does anybody have any questions?
All right, we'll do some questions and answers now. All right, now you gotta speak loudly.
Why am I blind? Well, I could see until I was 30 years old, and then I developed an eye disease, and I lost my eyesight pretty quickly, and that was almost 20 years ago. So can you guess how old I am? 50. I'm 49 and 3/4. Question?
Do you dream?
Huh?
Do you dream?
Do I dream? Yes. Well, because I could see at one time, I know what things look like. So when I dream like everybody else, and I see people and pictures and places. I don't know how it would be if I was always blind, but that's the way it is for me.
What sense do you mostly use?
What sense do I mostly use? I think my hearing and touch. Touch is very important.
When you call the live agent, is it always the same?
No, when I call live agent for the glasses, it's always a different agent. Sometimes it's the same, but it's usually different.
Okay, that's it.
That's it? Thank you very much.
Boys and girls, thank Mr. Cummings. Say thank you. Thank you. We have a little thank you card.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me. Oh, thank you. Here you go. Thank you for everything.
Oh.
Kiss. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Boys and girls, let's give them a big round of applause.
David, thank you so much for doing this.
Can you pet her?
Yeah.
All right, you can pet her.